What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with episode 2, day 2 of our Raid Shadow Legends free to play series. You can see here we're at our login for our second day on our fresh new account. And as part of the new player rewards, we're going to get our second piece of lifesteal gear, which is going to be a chest piece. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up. And then in a couple more days, we'll have our free epic champion. Let's do our login here. We're going to get a skill book today, which is pretty cool. We can use that for our starting champion. And then we're going to go ahead and just click off all these pop-up offers. Alright, so let me do a little bit of level setting real quick here. We did the first day, episode 1, which is like our starter guide, basically, just starting a brand new account. You will notice up here, I am already at level 17. So, one thing I wanted to tell you guys is the very first day you play your account, it's going to be very, very easy to get a lot of levels right away. Every time you level up, the game is giving you energy and gems. Every time you beat a stage at the beginning, you're going to have all these challenges that you complete. And I intentionally didn't claim any of this stuff just so I could show you guys. So basically, after the initial episode last night, I went through, this is just playing the first stage, Carrot Castle, and just getting all these very easy challenges completed. Now when you claim each of these challenges, it's going to give you silver or energy. You're going to get experience. So basically what happened is you just snowball levels at the beginning and you get all the way up pretty high. You can see we're almost level 18 to unlock the market. That took me about maybe 2 hours after the initial video stops. That's the thing with these episodes. I can't make them that long. I just don't want to make people sit through a 2 or 3 hour video. So we just try to cover the basics each time. And then a lot of the grinding and some of the farming and stuff I'll be doing off screen after the episode. But we didn't progress any further to the first stage just so I could show you guys the second stage tonight and also go over some of our champions and our other stuff that's going on. So you see here we actually do have 41 mystery shards. I just got those from the campaign. They just dropped while I was playing the game. So you get those as rewards for playing, and that'll help you summon some new champions. And let's see, let's go ahead and claim our free green shard. And we get some more pop-ups that we're going to ignore because this is the free-to-play account. And if we go into quests here, you'll notice now we have 7 daily quests to complete. So we have 5 arena battles. We didn't go into arena at all on the first day. We have to summon 3 champions, use 50 energy, increase level in the tavern 3 times. We unlocked the tavern last night, which I'll show you guys today. Make upgrade attempts on artifacts, purchase an item at the market, which isn't open yet, so we have to get to level 18, which we're at 95% there, so that should happen pretty quickly. And then beat a campaign boss 3 times. So daily quests are going to be important. You want to log in every day and do these. And I suggest doing the arena quest before you do the actual campaign quest because you get an energy drop for that, which is pretty good. So let's see what we're... Okay, let's just start by going through and claiming all of these that we did last night. And these are basically your starter quests that you do. So like this one, win 5 chest plates from clearing stage 5. So you just have to play it until it gives you 5 chest plate drops. So we're just going to claim all these. It's going to give us a bunch of silver. And then we are going to go and get a new skill book here because we finished that. Now you'll notice we've already got some of the next set finished already, which is pretty good. There's going to be 10 total artifact challenges. This will be the second, and you'll level these up as you go through and just play the game. So just from doing that alone, that's from the first day of playing, we got a whole bunch of silver, and we got a skill book. We're going to ignore the pop-ups. So let's go in. Now, I did join my clan. This is just my regular clan that I have set up for my accounts where I test stuff and play stuff. If you guys are interested in joining my clan, it's just called Viking Elders. If you're playing the game and you want to jump on here, it's super casual, obviously, because I'm the only one in it, and it's just do the clan boss every day is pretty much the only thing that it focuses on. All right, we got some silver for logging in. Let's talk about Champions 2 really, really quick, because the other cool thing is last night I played so much that I got Kale up to level 30 already. That's his max at 3 stars. We got our War Priest to 29. Now, I was trying to farm the Carrot Castle to get that Valerie character I was telling you guys about last night, but she did not drop. However, we did get the Conqueror to drop, who is a rare champion. He's not that good, really. He's okay early. He's got a basic that attacks twice, and he can remove buffs, and also has a revive prevention on his third attack. So if you want to take time and build him up, he actually could be good. But early on in the game, especially on a free-to-play account, we kind of want to just be focusing on building kind of our first couple of champions that we're going to use for a while. And he's not a champion that we would use for long term, like Kale. So what we're actually going to do, it's good that we got him to drop, because in order to actually bump Kale up to the next rank to get to 4 stars, we have to feed him 3 3-star champions. So how this works, and I can kind of show you this. I can show you this with Crusader. So Crusader was another drop we got from the first stage. He's actually pretty useful, so I've put him in a gear set that dropped from completing the first stage, and I leveled them all up to level 8. I usually only take 3-star stuff to about level 8, especially early, because we don't want to be wasting a lot of silver. We want to try to hang on to it. And a lot of these sets, the attributes aren't great just yet. But let's go into the tavern. And in the tavern is basically where you can do a lot of stuff with your champions. So you can upgrade their level by giving them other champions, or these brews up top. You can upgrade their star rank. You can upgrade their skills with skill books. And if you get a duplicate drop of that champion, you can also use that to upgrade their skills. We're not going to be using books. Do not use books on common or uncommon champions. And then each book is going to have a rank at the top. Like, so these are rare skill books. You only want to use those on the champions with the blue border. If you get the epic skill book, you're only going to use that on champion with a purple border. And legendary, only use that on the gold border legendary champions. It's pretty important to remember that. So don't waste books on champions that are not of that rank. So you can also ascend people. We'll get into that later once we get into the potion dungeons. That actually amplifies people's power by giving them purple stars over their yellow stars. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So what I want to do is upgrade rank. And of course, the Arbiter is going to tell us all about this. So for a 2-star champion, you will have to feed them 2 2-star champions, and that will bump them up to 3 stars basically. So we're going to do that. We're going to hit upgrade, and it's basically going to reset Crusader's level to level 1, and it's going to bump him up to 3 stars. So now we have him at 3 stars. We'll have to level him back up to 30 now. So, and we can actually go ahead, and I'll do that with this guy too. This was just a common champion. I'm not going to use him, but I figured I would start building some food early on. And I have a video explaining what food is. Food is basically starring up champions that you're not going to use in the game to feed to your other champions that you're actually using. So we actually leveled up 2 1-stars to 10 last night, so we could make 2-star food out of them. Because what we're going to end up doing is feeding them to our sniper once we get her to level 20, which we might be able to do tonight. So our initial team right now is going to be Kale, War Priest, and then the Crusader and the Sniper to give us some additional damage. Hopefully we'll get some better drops, but we need to get two more 3-stars. Like, we could feed Crusader to Kale if we wanted to, but I kind of want to hang on to him for a little while since he's not too bad. All right, so let's see. We need to pull three champions for our daily event. When I'm early in the game like this, I like to pull as many shards as I possibly can. You'll see here we have 30 open slots, but we have 8 of them are full right now with champions. So I can actually pull 20 shards right now and not fill up my champion slots. And then what we can do that way is see if we get anything good that we want to keep. And if not, we can feed all the stuff that we're not going to keep into our current roster. So let's just pull 10 and see what we get here. See if we can get lucky. Not really. Nothing great here, although I will say on Yeoman, this guy is a common champion. He only has 1 attack, which is attacks 1 enemy 3 times. He has a chance also to decrease turn meter, which is pretty good on a crappy common level champion. This guy is actually good for the Fire Knight in very early levels if you don't have anything else. So if you're kind of trying to put a Fire Knight team together, and you just don't have anything with a multi-attack, this guy has got an A1. It's going to hit 3 times every single time. So it's very reliable. When the Fire Knight in the early levels, he's only got 5 hits on his shield. This guy will take that down to 2 every single time with his 3 hits. So pretty good. You can put crappy gear on him and get him up to like 4 or 5 stars pretty easily and not really invest too much in him, and he can be a serviceable Fire Knight champion. But right now we're not going to worry about that too much. We'll get into dungeons later on. Let's pull another 10 since we have the space. What you're hoping for here is you pull like a rare champion, like a blue pops up that you can use. Or there are some uncommons also that are halfway decent. Yeah, I don't really see anything here that's all that special. So we're going to go back into champions. So now what we can do is just start feeding these guys to our other champions. So we just leveled up War Priest to her max of 30. So let's get off of her, and then we will go to Sniper, and we actually can probably get her up to her max as well. But this is basically what you're going to use. Most of these champions, we just call them fodder. You're just going to feed them to your other champions. Why can you not? Oh, okay, she's max level. So she's at 20. And we got our daily quest for Tavern done there as well. So now we got a couple of those uncommon drops from our shard pulls. So we're going to go ahead and feed those to her. And now she is rank 3. Now, if I really wanted to, I could go ahead and boost Kayle up to rank 4, but like I said, I want to keep some of these champions for now, so we're not going to do that quite yet. Although, the one thing is when you're first playing the game, you want to get your starter champion up to 6 stars as fast as possible, up to Ascended as fast as possible. You should only be focusing on a very small group of champions very early on, especially if you're on a free-to-play account and you're trying to keep that account somewhat streamlined. All right, let's go ahead and give Crusader some levels so he's not completely helpless when we start doing content again. And then we'll feed Sniper a couple of these guys. Okay, so there we go. So right now we have our main 4 that we're working on, and we have Conqueror here as some 3-star food for Kayle later. You can see here we did put some just regular gear on her and nothing special, just something to make her serviceable. Let's actually go in here and look at this chest plate that we got for Kayle. We're eventually going to swap him fully over into this lifesteal set. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on him because it's much better than what he's got right now. Let's go in and upgrade this, and we're actually going to go ahead and take this up to rank 8. And this may take just a second. This is one of the things that I don't necessarily like about this game, is just the randomness when you're trying to upgrade gear. Usually level 1 to 8, it's pretty fast and you're going to get it. You saw there even at level 6 we failed a roll on it, but it's like you have to do a random roll just to get your gear upgraded. And that's kind of annoying, especially since silver is hard to come by early in the game. All right, so Kayle's coming along. He's got 2 decent gear pieces now. This is just some of the gear left over from my farming last night when I farmed Carrot Castle. I just left some pieces here in case we get any champions that drop that we just kind of need to throw some stuff on real quick. You can see here masteries. This is also something we're going to have to eventually get into once we progress a little bit further. Let's go ahead and claim our quest that we finish. We're still not level. We're almost there, 98% to get to the market. Okay, now you'll notice one of our quests is to fight in the classic arena. We didn't go over arena last night at all. It's kind of early to be getting into arena. And let's go ahead and jump in here. This is basically like the PvP type area of the game, where you fight other teams' computer-generated people. There's 3v3 arena too. That's a little advanced for right now. We're not going to get into that just yet. So we have to set a defense. And this is basically people will attack this team that you set up. What you want to do right at the start is just put one character in. You don't want to put a full team in here yet because you're not trying to hold rank when you first start the game. Because what will happen is when you win arena matches, you'll go up in rank. When people attack you and beat you, you'll go back down in rank. So what you want to have happen early in the game is you just want to be able to go in every day and try to win your 5 to 10 matches and just acquire medals, which are these things up top. You'll get these, these are the bronze medals at bronze rank, silver, and then gold. And you want to be able to just keep fighting in the beginning against the same level people or easier opponents so you can build up some medals and start working on your Great Hall. Now, eventually, when you do start to climb, like when we want to start to climb to get the bronze 3 for one of the achievements we have to get, then we'll put a full team in to kind of hold that rank. But for right now, we just want to have one guy in here who's going to basically let us be an easy win for somebody else. And that's going to allow us to kind of stay down here in this 900 to 1,000 area where we belong right now so that we can actually win some matches. So when you go through here, it's going to show you a bunch of people. And you can see a lot of these people are doing the same thing I was just talking about. They just leave one character in so that they're basically an easy win. But you'll see also, like at our rank now, there's already people that have 2 epic champions, epic champions that we don't have, better champions than we have. And this is only at the beginning rank of the game. It's one of the big problems they're having in the game right now is this isn't so bad here, honestly, but when we start getting even up into like 950 to 1,000, you'll see teams with legendary characters already. There's accounts that have just been sitting there that fell all the way back to gold or silver or bronze from the platinum rank. There's people who just quit playing the game and their arena team with 4 level 60 legendaries is just sitting there in bronze 2. So there's going to be all kinds of little pitfalls you have to worry about. But for right now, we just want to focus on doing our 5 daily matches. So we'll just load our team in. We're going to start. We're just going to do 5 for right now to get through the daily quest. But I strongly suggest you guys every day use those arena tokens. Use all 10 of them when you come on. Because you will get rewards every day to actually do more arena tokens. So the game is going to give you some resources. You want to take advantage of everything you can when you're free to play. All right, so we got our first win. And you see there we got 11 points for our rank. We got a medal. And then we also got 5 points because there's a tournament going on when you're a new account to basically beat campaign levels and then fight in the arena. Let's find one more. And it's another reason you want to build Kale up really quick early too, because he's got his poison damage. He can be really pretty decent in the arena, and you could build him later on to be able to just nuke teams absolutely. But our goal right now is just to build up a serviceable team to start doing things within the campaign. We might actually have, I should have paid more attention. I don't think we can beat this team. Now that I look at it, especially with her, she's going to revive. Well, we might be able to pull this out. Let's see. We got to kill her off first. We got to kill Kale before he can do his poison AoE again. Yeah, this is not looking good. So you can see here, like, you're going to have difficulty beating teams consistently when you first start because you just simply don't have characters. Now, in a couple days or even a week or two, our arena team will be in a much better state. So what I should have just done is come down here and fought these other 1-character teams. But our focus early is going to be on getting our starter champion built up and hopefully finding 2 or 3 other champions that can go with him to be able to get through the campaign. War Priest is pretty serviceable early on. She's a pretty decent champion. If you don't get Valerie to drop from the first stage, then War Priest is certainly going to be a serviceable character to use. Alright, so we got that quest finished. Let's go back out here. Go ahead and claim that. And so now we have beat 3 campaign bosses and use 50 energy, or our other 2. So I tell you what, just because I like to do this, we can pull 20 more shards. I like to pull my greens as often as possible early on just to see what drops. What we're really just hoping for here is to get lucky and get a blue to pop up. As I said, that's what happens. See, there you go. You talk yourself into it. So we got a rare champion out of a green shard. It is Bogwalker, one of the lizard men. I love this faction because the designs on the characters are really, really cool. I think they look awesome. It's like you can get a bunch of dinosaur-looking guys. So let's see what his kit is. I'm not super familiar with him, even though I have all these other accounts. Attacks one enemy with 30% chance of decrease attack for 2 turns. His damage is based on defense. Okay, cool. So he's a defense champion, which if you get a defense champion where their stats are based on defense, Those are really easy to build into good characters. Combo attack attacks all enemies. That's good. Places 30% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's pretty good as well. Scout replaces a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 1 turn when attacked with critical hit. Okay, not an amazing skill, but pretty cool. And it's on 4 turns. You can take the 3. Okay, cool. So this is actually a pretty good pull. For a very, I mean, we're on day 2, and we pulled a pretty solid champion here, and he's a 3-star. He's rare. We will actually keep him and build him up for right now. All right, let's pull these. Let's pull 10 more and see if we get lucky. But that's why, like, early in the account, always pull your green shards. I have an account where I pulled an apothecary, like, on the 3rd day from a green, because, and apothecary is an amazing rare. He's one of the best characters in the game. Okay, let's see if there's anything here. Okay, Sister Militant is another common champion I want to talk about too. If you pull her, if you're struggling for damage early, she has 1 attack, and it's an attacks all enemies AoE every single time. So very easy to book her up. She drops pretty commonly from this a lot. I actually might keep her and go ahead and work on her to kind of show you that. She's really good for clearing waves in the early campaign, and you can also sort of use her in the Spider Den dungeon. But all right, cool. Pretty happy with that. We got another rare champion out of their poll. Okay, you can see here's our arena challenges. We actually did get one there. Let's go ahead and claim that. And we're at 99%. We're so close to getting. We actually got a weekly quest done as well, pulling 25 champions, and there we go. We got to level 18. So we got our energy refresh, and we got 10 gems. And now we can go to the market and actually unlock something else. All right, let's go ahead and unlock this for 2,000. Mystery shards are going to pop up in here all the time. They're the cheapest thing to buy to get your quest done. You really don't want to be buying this gear unless you see something that is absolutely amazing. Those are okay, but not great. But you really don't want to be spending your silver early on in the game on any of this stuff. You want to be saving it to upgrade your gear. But that helped us get that daily quest done. And you will eventually want to go, this is the market here, you will eventually want to unlock these others. You know what? All right, guys, sorry about that. I am back, and hopefully this is going to hold out for me. One of the things I actually forgot to talk about in my video the other day is the hardware issues I've been having. I need to get a new computer for content creation. Probably a new Elgato, because the one I have is going on, wow, probably 6 or 7 years old now. I had a bunch of drama with my one computer. We had a lightning strike hit close to the house. It fried the power supply. Didn't figure that out for a couple months, and it basically started messing with all the other stuff on the computer. So I replaced all the parts on it, and it gave it a little bit of new life, but it's starting to struggle lately, and I can tell it's going to be about that time to buy a new machine. So something we need to focus on a little bit later on. All right, anyways, so let's go into champions here. And you can see our new guy, Bogwalker. Let's go ahead and see if we can get him in any gear. This set's not going to be great for him, but we're just going to throw something on there for the time being to just kind of give him something to have. See if we have any defense. Okay, we got some defense percent gloves. I kind of mentioned that the other night. You want to try to get something on here that is a percentage statistic and not a flat statistic. So this is going to be a good set for him. Oh, we got defense chest piece too, which is good. And then the boots. Let's go with speed. Speed is always important. If you can get speed as a flat stat on your boots, that's always a good thing. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. We're going to pop these up to level 8 for him real quick just to make him serviceable. And this is kind of the tedious part. You know, when I'm playing on here on these videos, this is kind of the stuff I kind of want to avoid because you guys kind of have to just sit here and watch me upgrade gear. But this is what you kind of have to do when you're playing the game. You're going to have to spend a lot of time not actually playing the game, but actually working on building up your characters, which I try to do a lot of that off screen. That's why, you know, last night after I finished the initial playthrough, I did all the farming and all that other stuff because these videos would wind up being 3 to 4 hours long. And this is a really good game for streaming, actually. But unfortunately, due to said hardware issues I mentioned a minute ago, and also the internet here being kind of crappy, streaming is not really something see what Santa Claus Christmas this year. If I can get an upgraded content, I may try to get it at some point, and hopefully we'll still be working on this series by Christmas time, because I really like this game. I've been playing this game for about 2 months now, and it's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it, and I think it's back into making content on YouTube and enjoying making content on YouTube again, because this has been just a rough year all around, and I can't believe we're failing this many times. 8 roll, come on. This is where the game gets annoying. It's like, dude, just give me level 8. It's this to me so much on 12 to 16. Just give me the level 8 already. But this is, like I complained about earlier, this is the one thing I really don't like about this game is they make it so tedious, so RNG, trying to level up your gear, trying to level up your stuff that's going to help your champions. But we'll get through it. It's cheap to get to level 8, so where that really starts to burn a hole is when you're trying to get stuff to level 16, because you have rolls that are costing like 20 to 30 roll, and you can burn through millions of silver just trying to get a couple gear pieces up to a higher level. So that's just something you'll have to get used to. One last one in the boots, and then we will roll on to the campaign. Kind of thought about getting into dungeons and some other stuff tonight, but I'm probably not going to have time, and it's getting kind of late. I need to get to bed too, because tomorrow's Monday and I have to go back to work. So we will see how far we can get tonight. But one of the things early on, I mentioned you want to be focused on your champions, your first couple of champions. You also want to be focused on what you're doing in the game. Your main goal at the very, very start is going to be progressing your campaign. This is where you're going to get most of your experience, and our XP boost wore off, so we don't have that right now. Hopefully we'll get another one. But the campaign is going to give you the most experience and most of your gear early on. We are going to want to get into dungeons as well, so that's why I said it's important to build up that sort of 4-champion team or 5 champions early on, so you can start running some of this stuff. You're lucky when you first start the game as a new account, you have all the potion keeps open for an entire week. Usually there's only 1 open per day. Arcane keeps always open, and then these 4 will rotate. So depending on, like, our Kale is magic, so we're going to want to make sure we're getting magic potions for him to ascend him. And then you have these dungeons here where you can win gear. Minotaur, you actually get your mastery scrolls. Dragon's Lair and Ice Golem drop gear. Spider's Den drops accessory gear. And Fire Knight drops some gear as well. He's a little bit more difficult, though, so we want to get to a point where we get a couple champions where we can come down here and open up Dragon 7, because you can get 3 to 5 star gear here, and if you can actually start usually farming this within the first week you're playing. And if you can get some of your champions in some 4 to 5 gear sets, 4 to 5 star gear sets, it's going to be really helpful for getting through early content. Arena we already went over. Clan boss, we can go over that later. When you're in the clan, basically you will be able to fight this giant boss that has a ton of health, and when that's over with, you can fight him every single day. Every day when it resets, you get a chest with some gear in it, which when you're very early in the game, this gear can be important for your champions. So we'll get into that a little bit more in depth later. But for this episode, we just want to move on and continue our campaign. So we went through Carrot Castle last night after the episode was over, and I 3-starred every single stage and got all the way through the end. You can see on these drops we did not get Valerie. This is where we got Conqueror from. And we also, since we got 15 stars in the campaign already, we got some more silver. The more stars you get as you progress the stages, you get these rewards down on the bottom. So let's go into Chapter 2, the Sewers of Arnok. And this is basically, we go into the sewer level and fight a bunch of lizard men. So our goal here again is just going to be to get through all 7 stages here. Get to the very end. We should be able to handle this pretty well with the roster we've got right now. And you can see we get a couple drops possible here. Skullsworn is not a bad 3-star, but any 3-star drops we get from this stage, we'd be looking to fuse into Kale. All right, so let's get him as lead. We've got our Crusader. I'm going to go with War Priest, and I'm actually going to put Bogwalker in, even though he's level 1. And hopefully we can start getting him some some levels. We're going to keep Sniper, though, even though she's an uncommon, because she has a multi-hit on her first attack, which will help us do the Fire Knight later on. And it's going to be hard to build up a good roster for some of the dungeons, so if you have some of these champions, these early champions you get that give you a little bit of utility, it's going to be good to hang on to them for a while. All right, so stage 1 is done. Let's go into stage 2. And we should be able, like I said, just having Kayle at level 30 already from doing that extra farming last night from all the XP we were getting and all the extra energy we got. I think I had like 500 energy last night just from every time we level up, it refills all our energy. So it really allows you to extend your play time when you're an early account. All right, we're getting attack drops here on this stage. It's going to give us the attack offense set. We can look at that a little bit later. Let's go to stage 3. And you see Kayle already, even though we haven't really done much with him, just having him in a good artifact set and him being at level 30, he's able to pretty much nuke these guys pretty quickly. In order to get full 3 stars in these stage, you're going to have to play with just 2 champions and beat it all the way through without anybody dying. So that's something, like if I were to do that right now, I'd just put in Kayle and War Priest, and they'd be able to do that pretty easily. Like I'll just show you real quick here on stage 1. We take out those other champions, and we're just going to put Kayle and War Priest in, and they should be able to go through this pretty quickly without any trouble. So there you go. So that's how you're going to 3-star your early stages here. All right, let's go to stage 4 and put our team back in here. And then one other thing too, you'll notice here you have multi-battle 30 available. Once you clear a stage, you'll have the option of doing 30 battles there automatically as long as you have enough energy. That'll come in handy later on. Like let's say you want to get up and walk away for a little bit and you want to put it on a dungeon farm, you can put, as long as you have enough energy, you can have the game automatically play through 30 dungeon runs for you. And it'll level up your champions. You can actually put a champion queue on there, so if one of your champions hits max level, it'll substitute in another champion to take their place so they get experience. So it's a good farming tool when we get into like some of the dungeons we want to start doing later. And also if there's a campaign stage later on, there's going to be challenges to come back on certain campaign stages and play that campaign stage until a certain piece of gear drops that has certain statistics on it. You'll have to do that for some of the missions and challenges. So that's another good place you can use those auto battles. So definitely take advantage of those each day to kind of make it more convenient for yourself. But you can see here, we're getting through this pretty easily. So it's worth it on your first day. Go ahead and work on getting your starter champion as high as you can and having War Priest that you get dropped from that first stage as a reward. Go ahead and get her worked on as well. And just put people in gear, even though the gear right now is not going to be good. You want to just make sure someone has, a full set of gear. It's going to certainly help early on. All right, so we're going to fight the boss now. When we beat him, we're actually going to get a artifact box with a 3-star set of, I believe, HP gear. It's kind of weird. You beat the stage, you get HP gear, even though it's attack gear in the stage. But, whatever. We're not going to focus on that too much right now. When we get into farming the dragon, that's going to be when we can start working on worrying about the kind of gear we're equipping. And the cool thing, too, is you can sell some of this gear early to get more silver. And see, right there, that's why Crusader is pretty cool, because he's got a assist attack, so when he attacks, the other guy can attack with him. Alright, so we beat stage 2. And we got, looks like a 3-star set of HP gear. So there we go. So Sewers of Arnak is down. We did get 30 stars, so we can get some gems. And right now we're going to save our gems. And we're trying to build these up to where we can afford to buy the Mastery Scrolls for Kayle. I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth later. So next up is going to be Catacombs of Narbuk, which we will do in the next episode. Actually, I haven't decided yet. I may do these every couple of days. I don't know if I'm going to do this every single night, but I may just do it to where it's like 2 or 3 episodes a week, where you know, a couple days in between, and then I'll just call it like this is day 5 of free to play or whatever it happens to be at that point. But let's see. What else can I go over real quick here before we get out of here? Let's look at Faction Wars. Faction Wars is something you're not really going to be able to focus on that much early because you're not going to have a lot of champions from these factions. But you can see there's all the different factions in the game, and they have a crypt that you can go in. And when you go into this crypt, let's do Dark Elf here because I've actually already done this one with Kale. Okay, because I do have Kale and Sniper I can do on that one. So let me just, I'll show you what this is here. So these crypts you're going to go through, and it's basically 3 rounds like a typical campaign stage. And once you get through it, these drop glyphs that you can use to enchant your artifacts. We're not going to be super worried about that early, but when you start getting better artifact sets, when you put a glyph on them, you can improve the attributes of those artifacts. I'll show that to you here in just a second, but I just wanted to go through here and see. So we got a defense glyph, so slightly increases defensive substats on artifacts by a flat value. So every single faction has one of these crypts, and then you can see at the bottom it's just like the campaign. The more stars you can get energy boost, you can get books, you can get shards, and these rotate. So when you have enough characters, you can use 5 characters from a faction. Like if you go into barbarians, you'll see we don't have any barbarians, so we couldn't do this crypt right now. So that's just another aspect of the game. Not focus on it a lot at the beginning, but definitely come in here and play just because you can get, even unlocking the minor levels, you can get some more rewards down here at the bottom. Okay, so let's see where we are. We've got another potion there. We've got some events that are going on right now as well, so let's check those and see if we got anything. Dungeon Divers, this is basically an event where you get artifacts and it gives you points. The tournaments and events, depending on what they are, sometimes they're good to go into, sometimes they're not, you know, depending on what you want to focus on. So like here, we're going to get some XP brews. But as you progress through it, the more stuff you get, if you come at the bottom, it's going to explain to you how many points you get for each item that drops. And as you accumulate points, you can go through. And a lot of these will be very helpful for us on a free-to-play. Like rank 3 chickens will be good. Ancient shards will be good. The books are always good. So always keep an eye on the events and the tournaments that are going on, and just pay attention to those and see if it's something you want to invest your time in. All right, let's take a look at our champions, because we did actually get some skill books today. So we want to go to upgrade skills, and since Kale is a rare, we're going to go ahead and invest some books in him. And I want to explain something real quick. This is something that throws a lot of players off at the beginning. You cannot pick a skill to upgrade. It's completely random. It's kind of like the gear rolls. It's annoying, but you just have to deal with it. So when you have a character like Kale, he's got 6 skills here and 4 here, and then 5 on this one. So he's going to need a total that's 5, 9. That's going to be 14 books you will need. 14 of these blue books that you'll need just to get his skills maxed up. When you're getting these blue books early, use them all on your starter, whether it's Elaine or Kale or Aethel or Gaelic, whoever you took. All your rare books need to be going into building them up, since they're going to be your campaign leader and your character you use in most areas. So you can do them one at a time and hope they go to the skill that you want them to, or you can put in all the books you have at once. And when you do that, though, more often than not, it puts it all into one skill. But we'll see here. Okay, so you see it put both of them in his main skill, which is cool. So we put our books on Kale. That's cool. We're progressing him. Let's see if we have any. We got some brews that, okay, we got some force brews that actually matches his affinity. If you get a brew that matches the affinity of your character, it's going to give you a lot more XP than, like, say if we put this force one on him, it only gave him 12.5. The ones that match give you 18.75. So that's pretty good. That'll let us jump him all the way up to level 15. Which is pretty good for right now. All right, we got another challenge done. Upgrade a rare, epic, or legendary. We'll get that one done. Then when we finish this last one, we get 4 champions at level 20. We'll get another book that we can put on Kale. So progressing pretty nicely so far. We think we still have... Oh, I got to beat a campaign boss 3 times. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. That way we can clear that... clear that quest. We can just do the same guy here. But those daily quests will vary. Sometimes it'll be beat the campaign boss 3 times. Sometimes it'll be beat 7 campaign missions. Usually it's pretty quick and easy to get those finished. So that's 2 times we beat him. We'll go ahead and replay it to get the 3rd. Now that our Bog Walker is leveled up a bit, he can hit a little bit harder, so that's going to help us clear these waves a little bit more quickly. All right, so there we go. And we got a new champion, random drop. It's kind of funny because Deathhound is a common. People kind of overlook this guy. He's a 1-star. He's not a super amazing champion. He drops a lot from green shards, but he's got 2 skills. His one skill ignores shields and block damage buffs, which is pretty good. And his other skill is a 5%, which is the big poison debuff, on a 3-turn cooldown, which you can book down to 2. Now, you don't have to use books on these guys. They'll drop so often you'll be able to max your attack out. And one of the things that we want to focus on as an early account, especially free-to-play, and, you know, I like to focus on newer players, beginner players. To a late-level player, late-game player, they'd be like, oh, Deathhound, whatever. He's trash. But if you get this guy and you build him up, even if you like 3 or 4-star him early, you get these skills both at level 5, put a decent artifact set on him, this guy does a ton of damage against the clan boss, which is going to be very important when you join a clan early on and you're trying to help that clan beat that clan boss. So we're actually going to keep Deathhound. You know, we're gonna work on him. We're not going to put too much into him, but we're going to put in enough to make him a serviceable champion to use against the clan boss. So there's a couple other characters like that. I'm going to do my best to point those out to you whenever we get them, so that you guys can see what they are. We need 7 more energy to finish our other daily. Let's just we have to do 2 matches. Let's just run through these real quick. But and that's kind of the cool thing when you find a common champion like that that can be useful in part of the game. It's usually pretty easy to level up their skills because you're going to get them to drop from green shards all the time. And we'll show that off a little bit more as we get further into this free-to-play playthrough. Let's kind of just blow through this one more time, and then we should be able to get to finish that daily quest line. All right, there we go. Go back out to our Bastion, and now we have finished all of our daily quests. So we're going to get 400 XP and 10 more gems. And then if we do that 3 more times, we'll finish this 1 weekly quest. We got 15 dungeon bosses, 12 artifact level, rank 4 champion, and 1 champion ascension. That's all stuff we'll cover later on. Let's just pull a couple shards here. See if we get anything again. Like I said, you're going to get a bunch of these mystery shards. Just pull them a lot. You know, sometimes you'll get lucky like we did tonight. You pull a decent champion that you can use. Most of these are nothing to write home about. Commander, she's an uncommon. Stun debuff and heals the lowest. Completely fills target's turn meter if the ally is fully healed. That's actually kind of a cool ability, but it's on a 5-turn cooldown, which isn't great. Oh, another uncommon. Frost Skin, freeze debuff, fully depletes a target ally's turn meter and heals them to 50% of that. That's terrible. You don't want to have anything that takes away turn meter from your characters. Okay, Hellhound is like Deathhound's crappy cousin. He's not very good. Let's see if we get anything. Did we get another Deathhound? We did. Nice. See, he's very common drop, so we can use that for a skill book on him. And Swordsman. Yeah, another crap character. Okay, cool. All right, let's go to champions. And where's our Deathhound? Let's go ahead and lock him up so we know we don't have to use him for anything else. Go into the tavern. And we can upgrade skills. You can see here, since we have a duplicate copy of this champion, we can use that to actually upgrade their skills. And he'll be pretty easy to max out both of his skills. And let's see, we can actually go ahead and just use some of these guys to feed him and level him up. Let's see, do I want to save these guys as food or keep going? That's alright, we can throw a couple more of these in, get him to max. So what's cool is now he's level 10. So whenever we get another 1-star drop, we can actually bump him up to 2 stars pretty easily. You can see here we have Sister Militant that I actually also kept as a common champion. And that's because she has this ability that attacks all enemies every time. Her attack is an AoE. If you build her up with attack, it's actually really good for early stages in some of the dungeons for clearing mobs out. So we'll be pretty good there. All right, so there we go. Our roster's coming along. We've got 3 rare champions up top that we're using here and a couple of decent uncommons. We're going to try our best to work on Kayle and get him to 4 stars as quick as we can. And we'll follow that through the other adventures this week. But I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, guys. I'm probably going to play a little bit longer after the video. I just don't want to make the video run super long. I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you have decided to pick up the game, let me know down below if you're playing along, and if you have any questions about anything, feel free to put it down below. If there's any specific area of what we've been going over you want to see me go into more in depth, definitely let me know. We'll go over the Great Hall a little bit more since we're getting into the arena now, and the tavern and everything else in the next episode. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you're enjoying the series. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.